Dharbar is a 2020 Indian travel film. This is a Tamil language film. This is the action thriller film. This film was written and directed by E.R. Murugadoss. The meaning of Dharma is translated to some coach, that means to translate to many coach. This film was produced under the banner of Linka Productions. The film stars Rajinikanth, Niveda Thomas and Snow Shetty acted in these films, and this film performed the good roles to the public, and the actors played in roles were good. The music for film composed by Anirudh Praveen Chandran. He was one of the famous music directors in Tamil industry. The cinematography and editings were performed by Santosh Shivan and Srihar Prasad. They both performed the activities in the technical side of cinematography and editing. The film was released in India on 9th January 2020. That was they are targeting this release along with Thalai Pongal. This film was directed by E.R. Murugadoss and this was produced by Altrosh Bhaskaran. Screenplay by E.R. Murugadoss. In this film, the talking is from Rajinikanth, Niveda Thomas, Snow Shetty. You all know about the Anirudh Praveen is a good music directors, and the cinematography by Santosh Shivan, edited by Srihar Prasad. Production company was Linka Productions. This was distributed by Linka Productions too, and the release date was January 9, 2020 in India and January 8, 2020 in the United States. This film was running time is nearly by 150 minutes. This is an Indian film and this language is based in Tamil film. Budget of this film was 200 crore and the positive estimated box office it is nearly about 200 crores. The film opens with Audios Arunachalam's killing gangsters in Mumbai using encounters. In this film, the actor Rajinikanth acts the policeman, and Niveda Thomas was the daughter of the Rajinikanth, and Nayandoro played the role of the lovable girl of the Rajinikanth. The film was most interesting by watching intently. It was going very good. In the flashback, Aditya arrives in Mumbai with his only daughter Riley to become commissioner of police. He cleans up his drugs and trafficking when he arrives. During the missions, he comes to know about drug supplies by Ajay Malhotra, son of internist Vinod Malhotra, and apprenticing him. When Aditya goes to prisons to meet Ajay, he is shocked to see that a proxy is in prisons and not Ajay. Aditya asks Indian government commissions to investigate this, and current official declared that proxy is Ajay and there was no error. Aditya comes to know that Ajay is in Thailand and get the police to arrest him along with his fake passport. Since government already declared Ajay is in jail, they forced to declare the person in Thailand as a different person. Moreover, this film was shows some of the old film styles of the Rajinikanth. The styles is almost good in this film. What he uses is the full and shoot Ajay's calls injury and announced that his body will be shown to public. This forces corrupt officials to actually kill Ajay to save face and replace original Ajay's body instead of Proxil killed by Aditya. At Ajay's Colonel Vinod, Malhotra reveals that Ajay is not his child. Ajay is really the son of Hari Chopra, a notorious international drug lord. Hari comes to know of his son's death and enters India and kills Vinod. There is no lack of his goals in the films once and once. He also attacks unexpected Odysseus and his daughters. While Aditya surveys his daughter's lies of internal weddings, Odysseus wants revenge, but Vinod is already dead. He is saying the clicks only report for him before he died and learned there's a third person's behind all this. The film was thus going in the industry activities for just to know about that Hariharan married Chopra and his links to Vinod and Ajay. Ajay manages to kill Hariharan Chopra in the same police stations, while the deuce which was set alarms by him 27 years old and that killed many police officers, thus achieving his daughter's death and instituting peace in Mumbai. This whole storyline is going on and this was planned by E.R. Murugadas. The film was running successfully and this was nearly reaching $200 crores. Let me wait and see whether it is. Most of the people are saying that this is the budget will cross over, the collections will cross over the 230 crores. Let's wait and see whether it will cross over 230 crores or it will run over more than 3 crores. Finally, at this stage, Rajini is during the release of this film, Rajini has spoken about the career. And yes, similar the people were saying that Rajini is insulted Periyar, and this was the remark in these stations that the film will run or not, and the audience were going to the theatres or being less because he has spoken about the Periyar, that he has informed the wrong informations about the Periyar to the society. So this is a channel now. The people's of the Periyars, those the people who are running Periyars, avoiding the Rajinikanth, and they are giving their against opposition to the Rajinikanth. So there is no so much people in the theatres to watch the films. If Rajini apologizes for his words, there will be the crowd in the theatres. So Rajini speak if this is the wrong statement for the Periyar, so he should be apologized for that words. This was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. So Rajini should apologize for his words. Then he can collect so much amount in this film. People again will try to watch that film. Otherwise, the people avoid Rajini, and this film is no more run in this film. That was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. Dharbar is a 2020 Indian Tamil film. This is a Tamil language film. This is the action thriller film. This film was written and directed by E.R. Murugadas. The name of Dharma is translated to it's a coach, that means to translate to many coach. This film was produced under the banner of Lincoln Productions. The film stars Rajinikanth, Nayanthara, Nivedha Thomas, and Snu Shetty acted in these films. And this film performed the good roles to the public, and the actors played in roles were good. The music for film composed by Anirudh Ravin Chandran. He was one of the famous music directors in German industry. The cinematography and editings were performed by Santosh Shivan and Srihar Prasad. They both performed the activities in the technical side of cinematography and editing. The film was released in India on 9th January 2020. That was they are targeting this release along with Thalai Pongal. This film was directed by Dharbar and this was produced by Altrosh Bhaskar. Screenplay by Dharbar. This film is talking is from Rajinikanth, Dharbar, Nivea Thomas, Shrimshdi. You all know about the Anirudh Ravichandran is a good music directors, and the cinematography by Santosh Shivan, edited by Srihar Prasad. Production company was Lanka Productions. This was distributed by Lanka Productions too. And the release date was January 9, 2020 in India and January 8, 2020 in the United States. This film's running time is nearly by 150 minutes. This is an Indian film and this language is based on Tamil film. Budget of this film was 200 crore and the positive estimated box office it is nearly about 200 crores. The film opens with Adios Arunachalam's killing gangsters in Mumbai using encounters. In this film, the actor Rajinikanth acts the policeman, and Nivea Thomas was the daughter of the Rajinikanth, and Ayandoro played the role of the lovable girl of the Rajinikanth. The film was most interesting by watching lately and was going very good. In the flashback, Aditya arrives in Mumbai with his only daughter Wiley to become commissioner of police. He cleans up his drugs and trafficking when he arrives. During the missions, he comes to know about drug suppliers by Ajay Malhotra, son of introduced Vinod Malhotra and apprentice him. When Aditya goes to prisons to meet Ajay, he is shocked to see that the proxy is in prisons and not Ajay. Aditya asks Indian government commissions to investigate this and corrupt official declared that proxy is Ajay and there was no error. Aditya comes to know that Ajay is in Thailand and get the police to arrest him along with his fake passport. Since government already declared Ajay is in jail, they are forced to declare the person in Thailand as a different person. Moreover, this film was some of the old film styles of the Rajinikanth. The styles is almost good in this film. Aditya uses his rifle and shoot Ajay's proxy injury and announced that his body will be shown to public. This forces corrupt officials to actually kill Ajay to save face and replace original Ajay's body instead of proxy killed by Aditya. At Ajay's funeral, Vinod Malhotra reveals that Ajay is not his child. Ajay is really son of Hari Chopra, an UGS international drug lord. Hari comes to know of his son's death and enters India and his North. Listening back his goals in the films once and once, he also attacks unexpected audios and his daughters. While Aditya surveys his daughter's list of internet weddings, Aditya wants Divish, but Vinod is already dead. He is seeing the clips only report for him before he died and learned there's a third person's behind all this. The film was thus going in the industry activities for just to know about that Hariharan married Chopra and his links to Vinod and Ajay. Ajay manages to kill Hariharan Chopra in the same police stations, while that is which was set alarms by him, 27 years old, and that killed many police officers, thus achieving his daughter's death and instituting peace in Mumbai. This whole storyline is going on, and this was planned by E.R. Murugadas. The film was running successfully, and this was nearly reaching $200 crores. Let me wait and see whether it is. Most of the people are saying that this is the budget will cross over, the collections will cross over the 230 crores. Let's wait and see whether it will cross over 230 crores or it will run over more than 300 crores. Finally, at this stage, Rajini is during the release of this film, Rajini is speaking about the career. But yes, many of the people were saying that Rajini is insulted very young, and this was the remark in these stations that the film will run or not, and the audience were going to the theatres or being less because he has spoken about the career that he has informed the wrong informations about the career to the society. So this is a channel audio. The people of the periods, those are people who are running periods, avoiding the Rajinikanth, and they are giving their against opposition to Rajinikanth. So there is no so much people in the theatres to watch the films. If Rajini apologizes for his words, there will be the crowd in the theatres. So Rajini speak if this is the wrong statement for the Periyar, so he should be apologized for that. But this was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. So Rajini should apologize for his words. Then he can collect so much amount in this film. People again will try to watch that film. Otherwise, the people avoid Rajini, and this film is no more than run in this film. That was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. Dharbar is a 2020 Indian Tamil film. This is a Tamil language film. This is the action thriller film. This film was written and directed by E.R. Murugadas. The name of Dharma is translated to it's a coach, that means to translate to many coach. This film was produced under the banner of Lincoln Productions. The film stars Rajinikanth, Nayanthara, Niveda Thomas, and Snow Shetty acted in these films, and this film performed the good roles to the public, and the actors played in roles were good. The music for film composed by Anirudh Ravin Chandra. He was one of the famous music directors in Tamil industry. The cinematography and editings were performed by Santosh Shivan and Srigar Prashant. They both performed the activities in the technical side of cinematography and editing. The film was released in India on 9th January 2020. That was they are targeting this release along with Thalai Pongal. The film was directed by Dharbar and this was produced by Altrosh Bhaskar. Screenplay by Aaron Barbados. In this film, the talking is from Rajinikanth, Dharbar, Nivea Thomas, Shrimshiti. You all know about the and Ruth Ravichandran is a good music directors, and the cinematography by Santosh Shivan, directed by A. Sriham Prasad. Production company was Lenka Productions. This was distributed by Lenka Productions too. And the release date was January 9, 2020 in India and January 8, 2020 in the United States. This film was running time is nearly by 150 minutes. This is an Indian film and this language is based on Tamil film. Budget of this film was 200 crore and the positive one estimated box office it is nearly about 200 crores. The film opens with Adios Arnachalam's killing gangsters in Mumbai using encounters. In this film, the actor Rajinikanth acts the policeman, and Nivea Thomas was the daughter of the Rajinikanth, and Ayandoro played the role of the lovable girl of the Rajinikanth. The film was mostly interesting by watching quickly and was going very good. In the flashback, Aditya arrives in Mumbai with his only daughter Wiley to become commissioner of police. He cleans up his drugs and trafficking when he arrives. During the missions, he comes to know about drug suppliers by Ajay Malhotra, son of introduced Vinod Malhotra and apprentice him. When Aditya goes to prisons to meet Ajay, he is shocked to see that the proxy is in prisons and not Ajay. Aditya asks Indian government commissions to investigate this and correct official declared that proxy is Ajay and there was no error. Aditya comes to know that Ajay is in Thailand and get the police to arrest him along with his fake passport. Since government already declared Ajay is in jail, they forced to declare the person in Thailand as a different person. Moreover, this film was so some of the old film styles of the Rajinikanth. The styles is almost good in this film. Aditya uses his rifle and shoot Ajay's proxy injury and announced that his body will be shown to public. This forces corrupt officials to actually kill Ajay to save face and replace original Ajay's body instead of proxy killed by Aditya. At Ajay's corner, Vinod Malhotra reveals that Ajay is not his child. Ajay is really the son of Hari Chopra, a notorious international drug lord. Hari comes to know of his son's death and enters India and kills Vinod. There is no background going in the film's once and once. He also attacks unexpected Aditya's and his daughters. While Aditya surveys his daughter's list of internet weddings, Aditya wants revenge, but Vinod is already dead. He is seeing the clips body report for him before he died and learned there's a third person's behind all this. The film was thus going in the industry activities for just to know about that Hari Chopra and his links to Vinod and Ajay. Again, manages to kill Hariharan Chopra in the same police stations, while that is which was set alarms by him, 27 years old, and that killed many police officers, thus achieving his daughter's death and instituting peace in Mumbai. This only storyline is going on, and this was planned by E.R. Murugadas. The film was running successfully, and this was nearly reaching $200 crores. Let me wait and see whether it is. Most of the people are saying that this is the budget will cross over, the collections will cross over the 230 crores. Let's wait and see whether it will cross over 230 crores or it will run over more than 300 crores. Finally, at this stage, Rajini's during the release of this film, Rajini has spoken about the career. And yes, many of the people were saying that Rajini is insulted very young, and this was the remark in these stations that the film will run or not, and the audience were going to the theatres or being less because he has spoken about the career, that he has informed the wrong informations about the career to the society. So this is a channel audio. The people of the periods, those are people who are having periods, avoiding the Rajinikanth, and they are giving their against opposition to the Rajinikanth. So there is no so much people in the theatres to watch the films. If Rajini apologizes for his words, there will be the crowd in the theatres. So Rajini speak if this is the wrong statement for the Periyar, so he should be apologized for that. But this was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples, so Rajini should apologize for his words. Then he can collect so much amount in this film. People again will try to watch that film. Otherwise, the people avoid Rajini, and this film is no more run in this film. That was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. Dharbar is a 2020 Indian Tamil film. This is a Tamil language film. This is the action thriller film. This film was written and directed by E.R. Murugadas. The meaning of Dharma is translated to some coach, that means it translated to many coach. This film was produced under the banner of Lincoln Productions. The film stars Rajinikanth, Nayanthara, Nivedha Thomas, and Snow Shetty acted in these films, and this film performed the good roles to the public, and the actors played in roles were good. The music for film composed by Anirudh Ravin Chandran. He was one of the famous music directors in Tamil industry. The cinematography and editings were performed by Santosh Shivan and Srihar Prasad. They both performed the activities in the technical side of cinematography and editing. The film was released in India on 9th January 2020. That was they are targeting this release along with Thalai Pongal. This film was directed by Dharbar, and this was produced by Altrosh Bhaskar. Screenplay by A.R. Murugadas. In this film, the talking is from Rajinikanth, Nayanthara, Nivedha Thomas, Snow Shetty. You all know about the Anirudh Ravichandran is a good music directors, and the cinematography by Santosh Shivan, directed by Srihar Prasad. Production company was Lanka Productions. This was distributed by Lanka Productions too. And the release date was January 9, 2020 in India and January 8, 2020 in the United States. This film's running time is nearly by 150 minutes. This is an Indian film and this language is based on Tamil film. Budget of this film was 200 crore and the positive one estimated box office it is nearly about 200 crores. The film opens with audios Arunachalams killing gangsters in Mumbai using encounters. In this film, the actor Rajinikanth acts the policeman, and Nivya Thomas was the daughter of the Rajinikanth, and Ayandoro played the role of the lovable girl of the Rajinikanth. The film was mostly interesting by watching quickly and was going very good. In the flashback, Aditya arrives in Mumbai with his only daughter Wiley to become commissioner of police. He cleans up his drugs and trafficking when he arrives. During the missions, he comes to know about drug supplies by Ajay Malhotra, son of internist Vinod Malhotra, and apprenticing him. When Aditya goes to prisons to meet Ajay, he is shocked to see that a proxy is in prisons and not Ajay. Aditya asks Indian government commissions to investigate this, and corrupt official declared that proxy is Ajay and there was no error. Aditya comes to know that Ajay is in Thailand and get the police to arrest him along with his fake passport. Since government already declared Ajay is in jail, they forced to declare the person in Thailand as a different person. Moreover, this film was some of the old film styles of the Rajinikanth. The styles is almost good in this film. Aditya uses his rifle and shoot Ajay's proxy in jail and announced that his body will be shown to public. This forces corrupt officials to actually kill Ajay to save face and replace original Ajay's body instead of proxy killed by Aditya. At Ajay's corner, Vinod Malhotra reveals that Ajay is not his child. Ajay is really son of Hari Chopra, a notorious international drug lord. Hari comes to know of his son's death and enters India and kills Vinod. There is no background is going in the films once and once. He also attacks unexpected Aditya's and his daughters. While Aditya surveys his daughter's list of internal weddings, Aditya wants revenge, but Vinod is already dead. He is seeing the clips only report for him before he died and learned there's a third person's behind all this. The film was thus going in the industry activities for just to know about that Hari Chopra and his links to Vinod and Ajay. Ajay manages to kill Hari Chopra in the same police stations, while that is which was set alarms by him 27 years old and that killed many police officers, thus achieving his daughter's death and instituting peace in Mumbai. This whole storyline is going on and this was planned by the E.R. Murugadas. The film was running successfully and this was nearly reaching $200 crores. Let me wait and see whether it is. Most of the people are saying that this is the budget will cross over, the collections will cross over the 230 crores, let wait and see when it go cross over 230 crores, so it will run over more than 3 episodes. Finally, at this stage, Rajini's during the release of this film, Rajini has spoken about the failure. And yes, many of the people were saying that Rajini is insulted very young, and this was the remark in these stations that the film will run or not, and audience were going to the theaters or being less because he has spoken about the career that he has informed the wrong informations about the career to the society. So this is a channel audio. The people's of the careers, those the people who are having careers avoiding the rajinikanth, and they are giving their against opposition to the rajinikanth. So there is no much people in the theaters to watch the films. If Rajini apologizes for his words, there will be the crowd in the theaters. So Rajini speak if this is the wrong statement for the career, so he should be apologized for that. But this was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. So Rajini should apologize for his words. Then he can collect so much amount in this film. People again will try to watch that film. Otherwise, the people avoid Rajini, and this film is no more run in this film. That was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. Dharbar is a 2020 Indian Tamil film. This is a Tamil language film. This is the action Tamil film. This film was written and directed by R. Murugadoss. The meaning of Dharma is translated to some coach, that means to translate to my coach. This film was produced under the banner of Linka Productions. The film stars Rajinikanth, Nayandara, Nivedha Thomas, and Snow Shetty acted in these films, and this film performed the good roles to the public, and the actors played in roles were good. The music for film composed by Anirudh Ravin Chandra. He was one of the famous music directors in Tamil industry. The cinematography and editings were performed by Santosh Shivan and Srihar Prasad. They both performed the activities in the technical side of cinematography and editing. The film was released in India on 9th January 2020. That was they are targeting this release along with Thalai Pongal. This film was directed by Dharbar, and this was produced by Altrosh Bhaskaran. Screenplay by R. Murugadoss. In this film, the talking is from Rajinikanth, Nayandara, Nivedha Thomas, Snow Shetty. You all know about the Anirudh Ravichandran is a good music directors, and the cinematography by Santosh Shivan, edited by Srihar Prasad. Production company was Linka Productions. This was distributed by Linka Productions too. And the release date was January 9, 2020 in India and January 8, 2020 in the United States. This film was running time is nearly by 150 minutes. This is an Indian film, and this language is based on Tamil film. Budget of this film was 200 crore, and the positive one estimated box office it is nearly about 200 crores. The film opens with Adios Arunachalam's killing gangsters in Mumbai using encounters. In this film, the actor Rajini was the policeman, And Nivya Thomas was the daughter of the rajinikanth, and Ayandoro played the role of the lovable girl of the rajinikanth. The film was most interesting by watching movie. It was going very good. In the flashback, Aditya arrives in Mumbai with his only daughter Riley to become commissioner of police. He cleans up his drugs and trafficking when he arrives. During the missions, he comes to know about drug suppliers by Ajay Malhotra, son of interest Vinod Malhotra, and apprentice him. When Aditya goes to prisons to meet Ajay, he is shocked to see that a proxy is in prisons and not Ajay. Aditya asks Indian government commissions to investigate this, and corrupt official declared that proxy is Ajay and there was no error. Aditya comes to know that Ajay is in Thailand and get the police to arrest him along with his fake passport. Since government already declared Ajay is in jail, they are forced to declare the person in Thailand as a different person. Moreover, this film was some of the old film styles of the house. The styles is almost good in this film. Aditya uses his rifle and shoot Ajay's proxy in jail and announced that his body will be shown to public. This forces corrupt officials to actually kill Ajay to save face and replace original Ajay's body instead of proxy killed by Aditya. At Ajay's corner, Vinod Malhotra reveals that Ajay is not his child. Ajay is really the son of Hari Chopra, a notorious international drug lord. Hari comes to know of his son's death and enters India and kills Vinod. There is no baggage going in the films once and once. He also attacks unexpected Aditya's and his daughters. While Aditya surveys his daughter's list of internet weddings, Aditya wants revenge, but Vinod is already dead. He is seeing the clips only report for him before he died and learned there's a third person's behind all this. The film was thus going in the industry activities for just to know about that Hari Chopra and his links to Vinod and Ajay. Ajay manages to kill Hari Chopra in the same police stations, while that is which was set alarms by him, 27 years old, and that killed many police officers, thus achieving his daughter's death and instituting peace in Mumbai. This whole storyline is going on, and this was planned by the Murgadas. The film was running successfully, and this was nearly reaching $200 crores. Let me wait and see whether it is. Most of the people are saying that this is the budget will cross over, the collections will cross over the 230 crores. Let's wait and see whether it will cross over 230 crores or it will run over more than 300 crores. Finally, at this stage, Rajini is during the release of this film, Rajini is speaking about the career. And he has similar the people were saying that Rajini is insulted very young, and this was the remark in these stations that the film will run or not, and the audience were going to the theaters or being less because he has spoken about the career that he has informed the wrong informations about the career to the society. So this is a Tamil Nadu. The people's of the Periyas, those are people who are having Periyas, avoiding the Rajinikanth, and they are giving their against opposition to the Rajinikanth. So there is no so much people in the theaters to watch the films. If Rajini apologizes for his words, there will be the crowd in the theaters. So Rajini speak if this is the wrong statement for the Periyar, so he should be apologized for that words. This was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. So Rajini should apologize for his words. Then he can collect so much amount in this film. People again will try to watch that film. Otherwise, the people avoid Rajini, and this film is no more run in this film. That was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. Dharbar is a 2020 Indian Tamil film. This is a Tamil language film. This is the action thriller film. This film was written and directed by E.R. Murugadoss. The meaning of Dharma is translated to it's a coach, that means it translated to mini coach. This film was produced under the banner of Lincoln Productions. The film stars Rajinikanth, Nayanthara, Nivedha Thomas, and Snow Shetty acted in these films, and this film performed the good roles to the public, and the actors played in roles were good. The music for film composed by Anirudh Ravin Chandran. He was one of the famous music directors in Tamil industry. The cinematography and the editings were performed by Santosh Shivan and Srihar Prasad. They both performed the activities in the technical side of cinematography and editing. The film was released in India on 9th January 2020. That was they are targeting this release along with Thalai Pongal. The film was directed by Dharbar, and this was produced by Altrosh Bhaskar. Screenplay by A.R. Murugadoss. In this film, is talking is from Rajinikanth, Nayanthara, Nivedha Thomas, Snow Shetty. You all know about the Anirudh Ravichandran is a good music directors, and the cinematography by Santosh Shivan, directed by Srihar Prasad. Production company was Linka Productions. This was distributed by Linka Productions too, and the release date was January 9, 2020 in India and January 8, 2020 in the United States. This film was running time is nearly by 150 minutes. This is an Indian film, and this language is based in Tamil film. Budget of this film was 200 crore, and the possible estimated box office it is nearly about 200 crores. The film opens with Audios Arunachalam's killing gangsters in Mumbai using encounters. In this film, the actor Rajinikanth acts the policeman, and Nivedha Thomas was the daughter of the Rajinikanth, and Nayanthara played the role of the lovable girl of the Rajinikanth. The film was most interesting by watching only, and was going very good. In the flashback, Aditya arrives in Mumbai with his only daughter Riley to become commissioner of police. He cleans up his drugs and trafficking when he arrives. During the missions, he comes to know about drug suppliers by Ajay Malhotra, son of introduced Vinod Malhotra and apprentice him. When Aditya goes to prisons to meet Ajay, he is shocked to see that the proxy is in prisons and not Ajay. Aditya asks Indian government commissions to investigate this, and current official declared that proxy is Ajay and there was no error. Aditya comes to know that Ajay is in Thailand and get the police to arrest him along with his fake passport. Since government already declared Ajay is in jail, they forced to declare the person in Thailand as a different person. Moreover, this film was some of the old film styles of the rajinikanth. The styles is almost good in this film. Aditya uses his rifle and shoot Ajay's proxy in jail and announced that his body will be shown to public. This forces corrupt officials to actually kill Ajay to save face and replace original Ajay's body instead of proxy killed by Aditya. At Ajay's funeral, Vinod Malhotra reveals that Ajay is not his child. Ajay is really son of Hari Chopra, an 8 years international drug lord. Hari comes to know of his son's death and enters India and kills Vinod. Based on the activities going in the films once and once, he also attacks unexpected Aditya's and his daughters. While Aditya surveys his daughter's list of internal weddings, Aditya wants revenge, but Vinod is already dead. He is seeing the clips only report for him before he died and learned there's a third person's behind all this. The film was thus going in the industry activities for just to know about that Hari Chopra and his links to Vinod and Ajay. Aditya manages to kill Hari Chopra in the same police stations, while the deuce which was set alarms by him, 27 years old, and that killed many police officers, thus achieving his daughter's death and instituting peace in Mumbai. This whole storyline is going on, and this was planned by the E.R. Murugadas. The film was running successfully, and this was nearly reaching $200 crores. Let me wait and see whether it is. Most of the people are saying that this is the budget will cross over, the collections will cross over the 230 crores. Let's wait and see whether it will cross over 230 crores or it will run over more than 300 crores. Finally, at this stage, Rajini is during the release of this film, Rajini is speaking about the career. And yes, many of the people were saying that Rajini is insulted very young, and this was the remark in these stations that the film will run or not, and the audience were going to the theatres or being less because he has spoken about the career that he has informed the wrong informations about the career to the society. So this is a channel now. The people's of the periods, those are people who are running periods, avoiding the Rajinikanth, and they are giving their against opposition to the Rajinikanth. So there is no much people in the theatres to watch the films. If Rajini apologizes for his words, there will be the crowd in the theatres. So Rajini speak if this is the wrong statement for the Periyar, so he should be apologized for that words. This was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples. So Rajini should apologize for his words. Then he can collect so much amount in this film. People again will try to watch that film. Otherwise, the people avoid Rajini, and this film is no more run in this film. That was the opinion of the Tamil peoples. Dharbar is a 2020 Indian Tamil film. This is a Tamil language film. This is the action thriller film. This film was written and directed by E.R. Murugadoss. The meaning of Dharma is translated to it's a coach, that means to translate to many coach. This film was produced under the banner of Linka Productions. The film stars Rajinikanth, Nayandara, Niveda Thomas and Snow Shetty acted in these films, and this film performed the good roles to the public, and the actors played in roles were good. The music of film composed by Anirudh Ravin Chandra. He was one of the famous music directors in Tamil industry. The cinematography and editings were performed by Santosh Shivan and Srihar Prasad. They both performed the activities in the technical side of cinematography and editing. The film was released in India on 9th January 2020. That was they are targeting this release along with Thalai Pongal. This film was directed by Dharbar and this was produced by Altrosh Bhaskar. Screenplay by A.R. Murugadoss. In this film, the talking is from Rajinikanth, Nayandara, Niveda Thomas, Snow Shetty. You all know about the Anirudh Ravin Chandra is a good music directors, and the cinematography by Santosh Shivan, edited by A. Srihar Prasad. Production company was Linka Productions. This was distributed by Linka Productions too, and the release date was January 9, 2020 in India and January 8, 2020 in the United States. This film was running time is nearly by 150 minutes. This is an Indian film and this language is based on Tamil film. Budget of this film was 200 crore and the positive estimated box office it is nearly about 200 crores. The film opens with Adios Arunachal's killing gangsters in Mumbai using encounters. In this film, the actor Rajinikanth acts the policeman, and Niveda Thomas was the daughter of the Rajinikanth, and Nayandara played the role of the lovable girl of the Rajinikanth. The film was most interesting by watching and it was going very good. In the flashback, Aditya arrives in Mumbai with his only daughter Wiley to become commissioner of police. He cleans up his drugs and trafficking when he arrives. During the missions, he comes to know about drug suppliers by Ajay Malhotra, son of introduced Vinod Malhotra and apprentice him. When Aditya goes to prisons to meet Ajay, he is shocked to see that the proxy is in prisons and not Ajay. Aditya asks Indian government commissions to investigate this, and current official declared that proxy is Ajay and there was no error. Aditya comes to know that Ajay is in Thailand and get the police to arrest him along with his fake passport. Since government already declared Ajay is in jail, they forced to declare the person in Scotland as a different person. Moreover, this film was so some of the old film styles of rajinikanth. The styles is almost looked in this film. What he uses is food and shoot Ajay's cousin in jail and announced that his body will be shown to public. This forces corrupt officials to actually kill Ajay to save face and replace original Ajay's body instead of Proxil killed by Aditya. At Ajay's corner, Malhotra reveals that Ajay is not his child. Ajay is really the son of Hari Chopra, a notorious international drug lord. Hari comes to know of his son's death and enters India and kills the Lord. There is no baggage is going in the film's once and once. He also attacks unexpected Odysseus and his daughters. While Aditya surveys his daughter's list of internal weddings, Odysseus wants revenge, but Vinod is already dead. He is seeing the clips only report from him before he died and learned that the third person's pain or this. The film was thus going in the industry activities for just to know about that Hari Chopra and his links to Vinod and Ajay. Ajay manages to kill Hari Chopra in the same police stations, while that use which was set alarms by him, 27 years old, and that killed many police officers, thus achieving his daughter's death and instituting peace in Mumbai. This whole storyline is going on, and this was planned by E.R. Murugadas. The film was running successfully, and this was nearly reaching $200 crores. Let me wait and see whether it is. Most of the people are saying that this is the budget will cross over, the collections will cross over the 230 crores. Let's wait and see whether it will cross over 230 crores or it will run over more than 300 crores. Finally, at this stage, Rajini is during the release of this film, Rajini has spoken about the career. And yes, many of the people were saying that Rajini is insulted very young, and this was the remark in these stations that the film will run or not, and the audience were going to the theatres or being less because he has spoken about the career that he has informed the wrong informations about the career to the society. So this is a channel now to the people's of the periods, those the people who are having periods avoiding the Rajinikanth, and they are giving their against opposition to the Rajinikanth. So there is no much people in the theatres to watch the films. If Rajini apologizes for his words, there will be the crowd in the theatres. So Rajini speak if this is the wrong statement for the period, so he should be apologized for that. But this was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples, so Rajini should apologize for his words. Then he can collect so much amount in this film. People again will try to watch that film, otherwise the people avoid Rajini and this film is no more run in this film. That was the opinion of the Tamil Nadu peoples.